Okay, so as you can see, there's the other camera in the background. But as you can see, I've been making some components for Voodoo, the full-size Voodoo. That there is going to be a tie-down for a camper. And yeah, I've got a 12-foot slide-in camper I have to move very soon. So I've got to fix up the holes here yet, and do a little cleanup on the welds, and clean up at the back here a little bit more. You know, these welds haven't been cleaned up yet, but that's what else I've been playing around with here in the shop. So we'll take a little walk and put it down over here with the other one. Oops, come here, Maddie. I'm sorry. There's Maddie. I didn't see her laying there. So let's see if we can get her to... We'll back up and see if we can get my new supervisor in the shot. So there is Miss Maddie. Hey, say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. See? Yeah. So that's Maddie with her gorgeous green eyes, and she enjoys being out in the shop with me. And she's such a good girl. Hey? Yes, she's such a good girl. She's a little nervous because I accidentally kicked her, so she thinks she's bad, but she's not, of course. It was just I accidentally kicked her. Here, I know it would make it all better. Yes, I know it would make it better, is you could have a cookie, hey? Everybody gets to see what kind of a cutie chewer you are. So there was the new supervisor, and of course... this is the box for Dodgezilla. So here we have Dodgezilla and her box, and I've got another little surprise on the way. Let me bring it into the picture. I've started on Dodgezilla's cab. So this is Dodgezilla's cab here. So this is again, very light steel. It's a little heavier than the box, and mainly because it's going to have to support doors and so on, and it's been all hammered and dollied and working on it here. But so this is Dodgezilla's cab here, or will be anyway. There's a part of it. So big deal right now is, sorry about the glare in here, my lighting is not exactly perfect. As you can see though, is I have to weld along these seams, yeah? So let's get on with that. And oh, and I also forgot, guys and girls, welcome to YYC Designs, RC Creations. And thank you for joining, and thank you for watching. I want to thank all of our new subs lately, and of course our old ones for the continued support. That's why I hated calling them subs too, or calling y'all subs, as y'all are our friends. And just so happens that's what Tam's always preferred, and I'm sure that's what little Miss Maddie, who's going to curl up and probably have a little nap, prefers, is friends. So welcome to all our old and new friends. Anyway, let's get on with some building, yeah?
Oh,
Okay, so as you can see now, the welding's all done along both sides. Now, I didn't do the bottom yet, and there's a reason for that, and that is obviously I didn't do the bottom. Reason is I want to join it more with a couple of tabs, okay? And I'm just going to weld over a couple of tabs here on the bottom, and that will ensure, you know, something like that. That will ensure that there's a split here so that when the box gets submerged into water, it will constantly drain that water, because of course inside there will be a false floor. Yeah, now there will be a nice wooden false floor in here. The sides are all welded up solid. You could either put a, I said false floor, I meant wooden floor. You could put a false floor in here to hide a battery pack underneath it. Okay, and that way the tailgate hides it all, the front panel hides it. You would actually never know that you could run a double battery pack within this box. Yeah, you can run one side by side. A couple of nice big lipo packs could go easily into this bed with a false floor. Now, that would be my plan. That's what I would do with it, unless you want to run one lipo in the cab and run it sideways across the cab underneath the seats. That is my other plan. That is what I do when they're on my rigs. But these are not my rigs. This is Uncle Lee from Bull Gear, and I do have a little present I wanted to show him today. I'm going to try and move the camera around so that I can do this, and hopefully I'm going to tip it up. Now, you're going to get light glare for now, but I do want to show you all a special gift. There we go. I bought a Bull Gear long sleeve shirt for out in the shop. So there we go, Lee, brother. There's your shout out, okay? There's your shout out, and I don't need to get ugly, brother. I am already there. As y'all can see, I am already well past ugly. I'm too old to be pretty anymore. So I would actually just put a little line through that part and say getting dirty in my case. But then I don't want to be a dirty old man either, yeah? So we'll stay with getting ugly from Bull Gear RC. You can find them online. I gotta remember the name of the shop now that sells Uncle Lee's shirts, but they're a good quality shirt, and they're very comfy. So I had to give you the shout out, brother. I couldn't resist. So there's your shout out from YYC Designz RC Creations, yeah, including my smoke. I know it's a nasty habit, but hey, I've been at it since I was 11 years old, and I'm too old to change now. So I don't know if y'all want to follow my suggestion on this one, bro, but what you could do is you could run a double lipo pack. What I do when I do run the double lipos is I run one that runs the vehicle, one that runs the lights and all the accessories like winches or underbody lighting, all my lights, that sort of thing. Any accessories I put on the truck, because a lot of the times I put double winches on them, and I do some funky things that draw power, and I don't want to take away from the motor power, right? So I try to make them so I can run a double pack. And as you notice, these boxes on these step sides work out perfect for hiding a double pack, or the boxes on a regular truck, the wheel well openings would come in here and still work out. The other thing that works out too is, like I say, running them crosswise. under the cab. I'm using the tailgate as a LiPo battery now, but you could run it. You can run one of the short stick packs in underneath the seat. Now I do that a lot if I want to use the box. Like G6 Recon, they always want you to have a lot of gear for realism and so on. So what I do is I hide the LiPo pack. I use one of the short stick packs, the hard-sided ones, underneath the seat. So that's another option anyway. Now, like I said, though, because I tend to put batteries in here, what I do is I make a little waterproof compartment, but you can't guarantee that the box isn't going to get submerged in water, so I leave the front of the box open, and it gives water a place to drain out. Yeah, and it's more than strong enough for an RC, so you never have to worry about it being a wimpy build or anything like that. This tin is surprisingly strong, and in a rollover it is surprisingly pliable. It will actually move and bend and give some, just like a real vehicle does, and you don't end up with damage either. So that's why I do love the metal vehicles, guys and girls. That's always been my kick. So now the next step is we'll hinge the tailgate, and we're going to round over this edge, okay? So these are the tiny little rivets I use. As you can see, they're comparing them even to my wedding band there, they're not even as wide as it is, and it's only 3/16 of an inch in width. So they're aluminum, and they come from the aircraft industry, and well, not decades, but a decade ago, my dad give me what he had left in his supply, which was quite a few. He was building an aircraft actually in the garage, and I grew up as a kid building an aircraft, a Starduster 1. So I consequently inherited quite a bunch of little bits and pieces when he passed, and I often wondered what I was going to do with them. Well, I use them now to, as you can see, make RCs. So I use the little rivets to attach the tailgate. Now I still have to attach the little locks, do some finishing up on the tailgate and the rest of the box, and I've got to make some little brackets to hold the fenders on. But basically, the box is all but done. And so we can move along to the cab as soon as I move my Coke out of the way here. In fact, I'm going to take a slurp. And the cab. Now, it needs some more curvature in the roof, and the back panel is about proper. It is out of a slightly, heavier gauge, only because it is going to have to, of course, support the doors and the front panels, fenders, hood, all of that. So it needs to be a little bit stronger and a little bit more rigid to be able to support all of that. And of course, we've got to make the tabs so it can bolt onto the frame. I will probably be putting quite a little chunk of floor in here and drill through the bottom so that it will be tabs that kind of come up this way, and that way Lee can attach that to, let me move this around just a second, and then he can attach it all so to his frame, whatever frame he chooses. Now, I am building this to fit an axial, but I am going to make the tabs and so on, and the holes that bolt through to the chassis so that it will fit pretty well anything. And they're all pretty well standard anyway. Red Cat and axial, I know, are the same width apart. I'm not sure about Traxxas. I've never owned a Traxxas. For that matter, I've never owned an axial. I just end up with parts and pieces that I've gotten from guys, and putting things together, I just happen to know through research that they are the same width apart. And they bolt up a little different, but basically they kind of bolt up all the same, you know. So anyway, here is as far as I've gotten anyway, was the cab roof and back panel. Now I've got to cut the window for the back panel into this yet, and of course I'm going to also be adding in the windshield pillars that will come down here. It's kind of hard to hold it and show you all I'm talking about, so I'm going to lean it up against my vise, but I'm going to build the windshield pillars so that they come down, and then of course right down to the floor and go across, and so there is the second place that the cab will bolt on to the frame, and it will also hold the opening and closing doors, and it will also have a cowl panel going across underneath the windshield pillars that come down to be able to support the hood and the fenders of the body. So this is as far as I've gotten this time on Dodgezilla, and like I said, I just ran out of time trying to help my mom move and rearranging my whole house. What it has given me, actually, though, besides some very nice furniture, is I am redoing the little shop in the house as well, and I have much more room and space in there, and it will also double as a kind of quasi studio. I'm not going to have a studio per se, but it'll be a little bit like a studio in the sense that it will look neat and tidy for you also when I want to do some filming on stuff in there, and it gives my RCs a place to live, because I have a bunch of shelving up now, or well, I have shelving up anyway, but I'm transforming it into shelving to hold all of my RCs. Long story short, enough said. I just ran out of time to be continuing on with RC builds, but we've got the fenders done for Dodgezilla, we've got her tailgate attached, and we've got the cab made, about 30% of the cab made anyway, and so there we have it, and that's going to do her for this video on Dodgezilla. So y'all have a good work week, and I will see you next time. If you like the video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. And once again, to all my friends, thank you for watching and for all the support y'all continue to give. Alrighty, guys and girls, this has been Twist with YYC Designs Custom RC Creations. Take care. Bye-bye.